Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by for another episode here at alliseeisW, where we talk about stocks, Bitcoin, and finance. In today's video, I'd like to cover the latest updates around the Bitcoin market. We'll also be covering the latest updates with the big three Bitcoin miners. Most of you are wondering, is now a time to continue buying Bitcoin, dollar cost averaging, holding? How high can Bitcoin really go? And is now the time for the miners to start breaking out with high velocity torque? We'll cover all of those details where I will be doing a deep dive technical analysis of the big three Bitcoin miners, as well as sharing with you the latest updates around social media. Now, if you're new to this channel, first off, I would really appreciate you hitting the like, subscribing for more related content. Let's begin, guys. Let's first take a look at a post from Fiat Archive. So just in, Bitcoin is hovering above 106,000. Just like that, we were worried during the weekend where Bitcoin price went to like 98,000. What happened? It bounced back. There's a lot of buying action anytime when Bitcoin dips below 100,000. We know Bitcoin hovered above 100,000 for over 40 days. And just with a few hours, Bitcoin just gets back into that $100,000 zone. Here's another post in that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. He says that banks are free to provide banking services to the Bitcoin industry. Either individuals can do self-custody or financial institutions providing self-custody custodian service for the consumer market. So this is huge news in that now financial institutions are able to, capitalize on the service activities with respect to the Bitcoin industry. Bitcoin Bella posts today, CleanSpark is cooking. So we see huge price action with CleanSpark today. It ran up by 13%, one of the top leading Bitcoin miners. While we saw a number of stocks going up, why is it that CleanSpark went up? Well, we had the recent announcement today in that CleanSpark reached its milestone achievement of 50 exahash escape velocity in action. I mean, this really is a huge testament for the company to scale up its operations with improved fleet efficiency as well, being right behind Iron. And what they're saying is that as we look to the future, CleanSpark has laid the foundation to achieve 60 exahash and beyond. This expansion capacity aligns with the company's broader strategy to grow with capital efficiency, only possible for an operator that has achieved escape velocity. So this is definitely huge news in the miner space, and definitely CleanSpark is being rewarded for that. Here's an interesting post talking about Mara. So, this person has high conviction for the years ahead with a market cap around 5 billion in strong structural price action. It's shaping up to be a standout in the crypto related equity space. From my perspective, a breakout above $18.30 level could trigger a sharp move toward retesting its all-time high at $234, representing a potential 16x upside from current levels. What really stands out is a surge in trading volume, which often signals smart money whales accumulating at perceived discount prices. This kind of volume is a key indicator of institutional interest. In my view, even at $14, MAR is still undervalued for those with a long-term outlook. If you're into stocks and long-term conviction plays, this one you don't want to overlook. So just looking at the bullish trajectory, price of Mara will continue to just go up just based on its undervalued price point right now. Crypto Vici posts about Mara. One, $40 inevitable breakout target. Two, $60 by October. Three, $75 by end of 2025. That just tells you something. There's been a lot of call option buying with Mara, whether it's, September onward, but huge, conviction with Crypto Vici in these price forecasts with Mara. Calio Army posts reminder that Riot anywhere in the green circle is free. So we've seen, historically with every Bitcoin bull cycle, it's historically run up, last bull cycle in 2020 through 2021, $3 all the way to $80. Now, are we going to see history repeat itself? We've seen that with every Bitcoin bull cycle. How high can, Riot go? We'll see, only time will tell. Nebraska Gooner posts is, Riot per request. This chart looks pretty solid. Top Goon X recently gave a buy approaching alert. Price holding and retesting breakout support. If it can't break $10.08, it should have some room to push added to my watch list. So definitely a big timer on X, and he's now monitoring Riot Platforms and the potential trajectory of it going up from here on out. Let's take a look at Bitcoin technical analysis on the daily chart. We have volume set as well as Ichimoku cloud indicator set. Key thing is we broke out of this Ichimoku cloud. We talk about this cloud, and the good news is now we're hovering above this cloud. It's sunshine and rainbows. Bitcoin can very well break out. We have, a few days left before the end of June. This is going to be a huge potential breakout. I mean, even Josh Mandel is forecasting Bitcoin will be somewhere around above 115,000 before end of June. Who knows? We may just see a big candlestick that's going to be coming either early Q, no, towards the end of Q2 or Q3, but we're looking very bullish right now, especially with all of the macro news updates, with the ease with the Middle East tension, as well as, federal rate cuts coming expected next month in July. So definitely huge upside with Bitcoin forecasting 150 through 250,000 by year end. What does that mean when Bitcoin price is expected to go up in the year 2025 in this bull market? We're looking at technical analysis of CleanSpark. Couple of key indicators we don't want to lose sight of is this inverse head and shoulders. Definitely a solid pattern for us to consider as far as potential upside. We're also seeing the MACD. Eventually, we're going to start seeing bullish divergence, especially, coupling in that 13% increase today. Relative strength slightly increased today. We will continue to see huge volumes flowing into CleanSpark, especially with what we saw today. I think there's a lot more eyes on the potential for CleanSpark to continue to go up. What goes down will eventually pop back up. We saw that, several months back, November, it was up at $18. So, $8 away from its current price action. Huge upside. CleanSpark is definitely undervalued, and there may be a potential breakout in this year with CleanSpark 3 to 5x. We're looking at Mara's price action. So we're looking at it from a long-term view. Back in 2021, we saw it run up to like $80. And just with, price of Mara, back in November, it was hovering above $30 and it's just been bleeding out. In fact, it dropped below $9.80, back in April, but it's been slightly picking up. Current price at $14.88, definitely undervalued. I think, buying, shares of Mara, having some, call options months out. I think this is definitely going to be printing Mara hugely undervalued. And I think that, it's only going to start going up, especially with the downward market that we've seen, the suppression over the many months. I do see Mara having a huge potential breakout. We've seen Crypto Vici's posts with the potential upside, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Mara back to like $30 within a matter of weeks. Let's take a look at Riot Platforms. So definitely seeing some huge upside just based on the technicals, reverse head and shoulders, MACD, we're seeing, bullish divergence over time from, April through June. That's a good thing. We want to see that. We're seeing gradual increase in the relative strength index. We're seeing this, this cup and handle shape forming as well, and we're beginning to see it gradually pick up. We don't want it to shoot up. It reached its prior resistance, and we talked about this. We want to see price action hover around this prior resistance, make that become the new support before we start gapping up. But I do see huge upside with Riot Platforms, Calio, Degen. He's buying options. He's even forecasting that Riot Platforms could be the potential next GME type like play. Who knows? We can't predict where the future is, but with every Bitcoin bull cycle, we've seen big time run ups, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised for a huge run up. But at a minimum, we will see a 3 to 5x gain in the year 2025. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed an episode deep dive where I covered the latest updates with Bitcoin, the big three Bitcoin miners, my technical analysis of Bitcoin, as well as the miners, what my price forecast is. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate hitting the like, subscribing, and put your perspective how high you think Bitcoin can go. What's your price predictions with the miners? Put it down in the chat and where you're watching from. Thanks, guys.